So I'd like to invite AAPlasma. AAPlasma's use case is around food and food safety. They have a technology which is an instrument, and this was developed with NOAA's Phase 2 SBIR award. And their industry is in the fishing industry. So with that, pleasure to introduce Greg. Greg, take it over.
Thank you. Fantastic. So thank you very much for LARTA to organize this. A couple of speakers in the morning today mentioned this, and I'm sorry. For 20 years, I did research for the sake of research. And about 5 years ago, my graduate student and I started a spin-off company to try to break that cycle, try to actually commercialize what we have invented. It's a fairly complicated technology. It's very high tech. It's developed by Drexel, about $30–40 million total R&D investment into pulsed spark for remediation. A lot of the investment came about 20 years ago. If you remember the anthrax crisis and scare and terrorist attacks and all of that. So a lot of funding came for cleaning up rivers from biothreat attacks. And now we're trying to commercialize this. A group of companies actually are trying to commercialize this in aquaculture and other fish growing technologies. We'll talk about background, market problem, go-to-market strategy, and summary. So the team, the background of the team. The basic science comes from Drexel University. I'm from Drexel University. We are, AAPlasma is 10 engineers and 6 of us, so more than half of us are faculty and students from Drexel. So we're kind of a Drexel spin-off, but legally we're a totally separate entity. We're designing the system. NOAA funded us to create a pre-commercial prototype. We're well on our way. We're actually done with a pre-commercial prototype. We're working with 2 vendors, certified manufacturing partners and distribution partners. We created a separate spin-off company packaged to deal just with this technology alone called Goga LLC. And this company is the one who will deal with commercial fisheries. So maybe they will license the technology to them or manage installation, or we're still trying to figure that part out. What's the technology? Most of you, I'm sure, are familiar with ultraviolet. Ultraviolet was developed in, early to mid 1800s. It's a well-mature technology. We are about, depends on the environment, but we're 10 to 300 times more energy efficient. We have no moving parts. We have no glass that gets dirty. We're plasma. Plasma is what's inside of a UV lamp. So we're simply more energy efficient at killing microbes in flowing water. We are the only technology, high tech, that is able to destroy antibiotic-resistant genome while we're killing antibiotic-resistant bacteria, and we can actually destroy leftover antibiotics that are in the water. Ozone cannot do that. UV cannot do that. Chlorine, bleach cannot do that. So that's our competitive advantage. We destroy antibiotics at 6 times or more energy efficient than UV to achieve the same kill, plus all the added benefits. Because of inherent energy inefficiencies of plasma, while we're 6 times more energy efficient than UV at killing, our total energy expense is the same as UV. So your electric bill, if you're using an ultraviolet lamp to disinfect, your electric bill will be the same with us or with UV. So literally, do you want to buy into a well-established technology from 1800s? Or do you want to pay the same price for the technology from tomorrow? That's that. We have a 1 gallon per minute. So kind of mid, it's like large lab scale. So we have a 1 gallon per minute system fully operational. We need to build a couple of 10 GPM systems, which is sufficient for small scale commercial aquaculture facilities. And beyond that, we deploy. So market problem, I don't think I need to explain it. Aquaculture has pathogens in the water, the overuse antibiotics, and because of that, there's development of antibiotic resistance. Our approach is to address all of that. Competition, microfiltration is pointless. And we can discuss details about that. UV, ozonation, and bleach, I'm sure you're aware of problems with all of them. I'm happy to answer questions in detail. I know all the details. Business model, we develop technology, AAPlasma does, so the company that I represent. We created already a spin-off that we're putting this technology into. And this spin-off company handles everything else from there. I'm trying really hard to get myself fired from that company, okay? I don't want to, I'm the CEO of Goga LLC because it has to have one to be an LLC. I'm here. One of the goals of driving from Philly is to get myself fired, please. I would love to. Anyway, so in summary, this is over a 200 billion or 300 billion, or depends on which way you look at it, market. It's fast and efficient water disinfection to prevent cross-contamination is our value proposition. We are same price to both run and operate as the best of the competing technology, and we can do what the competing technologies cannot. Cool, thank you. What we need? Well, we'd like some money for the field demo. So NOAA only got us so far. This is high tech, it's not cheap. We'd like to actually develop a go-to-market strategy. So I'm the first one to admit, we're not exactly sure what to do now. We are engineers. And we're actively looking for CEO to run this. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the reasons I'm here. And I think with that, that's it. Questions, comments, concerns? Thank you.
Hi, my first question is
I'm not hiding, by the way. I'm just, that's where the microphone is.
Okay. So my question is about what types of challenges do you foresee in scaling this from 1 gallon per minute for operations to something that is viable even for a closed loop land-based aquaculture system? Are we still having, is it an engineering production model scaling issue that just needs to go? Are you still finding some core issues with the delivery of the plasma pulse?
There are no issues with delivery of plasma. If I may tell you an anecdote instead. So we fully commercialized this similar technology for air cleaning, air scrubbing from paper mills. We installed it on a truck, ran a megawatt system, installed it on a truck, ran it to Georgia Pacific. Super amazing test results. Amazing. We outperformed any other technology in existence to date. Created a company failed. Reason is very unexpected. In order to run a megawatt plasma system 24 hours a day, you need 3 shifts of PhD level technicians to maintain it. Good luck finding third shift PhD level technician in the middle of the forest in Ohio. So that was an issue. And we are still developing a business model. Is it going to be, so if we are competing with UV lamps, then we can actually create fully self-sustained systems that are relatively inexpensive that run off 110 volts. If you're talking about a megawatt system cleaning water for the entire river, we can. But that's going to run into the same problems we ran into with Georgia Pacific. My point is, the answer, your question is simple, but the answer is complex.
Yeah, no, the human capital is an issue that is critical to scaling. So thank you.
It's definitely a critical issue. We are aware and we will address it. Basically, I will say, dear CEO, dear new CEO, lead us, and we will help develop technology for you.
Yeah. Hi, Jose Colucci. Question, I think maybe related to what she asked. Do you have an idea of how much this prototype of 10 gallons per, I guess, minute or something?
We actually want 3 prototypes. So the cost of the prototype itself, the 10 GPM pump, $1,000. The prototype, the cost of the parts of the prototype, under $10,000. Power supply, under $10,000. $20,000 in parts for one. We'd like 3. Then we'd like some funding to basically for the humans to go deploy and monitor it for a year. I don't know how much fisheries would want. So this is, I would say, an order of under $1 million. $1 million in 3 years would do it. That's the level.
So it's not only for the equipment, you're talking actually for the operation.
Yeah, most of the costs will go into operation.
And that's why you need investors to go into it, because the equipment doesn't really cost that much.
No, equipment doesn't cost much. Look, what we're looking for is 2 full-time engineers, 1 more microbiology, so all the monitoring can be done, 1 more engineering, 2 full-time engineers, equipment for them. I can email you budget. It's going to end up being $1,001,205. It's an order of $1 million in 3 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes for the judges to score. Greg, would you like to come back here? Maybe rest of the event attendees, as well as folks online, would ask you questions. Hannah is working closely on the Zoom, so she can actually capture those questions for you and speak it out. Hannah, do we have any questions for Greg? Not yet. Okay. Anybody from the audience here would like to ask Greg a question or give a suggestion? Either is great. Great.
I can do a dance. No.
You stunned in silence.
What for land-based aquaculture? What do you need more than 1 gallon per minute?
So if I understood the question correctly, like for plant-based aquaculture, do we need more than 1 GPM? We spoke with a couple of dozen commercial aquaculture, aquaponics, hydroponics, different soilless, sometimes fishless, sometimes fishful growth facilities. And most of them have very small, medium, large. Large is going to need 10 gallon. I think it would be, look, the price, if we're doing this project, if you give me $1 million and we can do 5 1-gallon systems and 3 10-gallon systems. If you give me $1 million, we can do 10 1-gallon systems. My point is, I don't know the answer to your question. As an engineer, I'm saying, look, let me try my hardest to address the biggest elephant in the room. 10-gallon system has not been demonstrated in field for submerged pulsed spark underwater disinfection at all. So if we're able to demonstrate that, we can demonstrate smaller. However, if you're the CEO and you tell me that all we need is 1 gallon systems and we're gonna commercialize 10 gallon, but we'll wait for 5 years. Sure. It's easy. It's a lot easier. 1 gallon systems are ready. Let's deploy them. We still need a couple of years to test them out.
Hannah, do we have any questions from the audience online? All right, great. Thank you very much, Greg. Really great presentation. Thank you, Greg.